Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Yesterday, one of the good shows yesterday. We had 4 good shows yesterday, and they were really, really good. And we got a lot of feedback on them. Today, we got some more good shows for you. So don't forget, if you tune into Crossroads Podcast Radio, you'll be able to listen on the radio, or if you come onto Facebook, Crossroads podcast.uk, you'll be able to kind of watch and listen on our podcast. Christina, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Steve.
Okay, good.
Good day.
Thank you very much. Tell us about yourself.
I'm a baby boomer, in my 60s now, and I am a mentor, a healer, and I do many, many things, but I help people change their lives. And I do it in a rather what I call a unique way. I use therapies, but I also use my own knowing because I'm a clairaudient, clairsentient, and with that help, I'm actually able to help people a little bit more find the blocks and everything that's causing the aggro, and I love doing it.
Right.
So,
What kind of help can you give somebody? Is it all sorts of help, or is it?
all sorts of help. I can help their mind, I can help their body, and I can help the being which is upstairs. So I do many, many things, and I work with a lot of skeptics. And the first thing, if they work with me, I ask them to throw all their points of view into a nice bucket that starts with an F and it ends with a K by the door while they're working with me, because people have so many ideas of healers and spiritual people, and it's a bit annoying to say the least.
Right. So are you a clairvoyant?
Sort of. I
Right.
can do clairvoyance. I am clairsentient. I'm clairaudient. I hear, see, I smell, I taste. I have all these 7 attributes of being a clair. I'm also a healer. I do hands-on work. I do different therapies. I talk with people and just help them put their world back to rights.
Okay. So if somebody came on screen like me
Yeah.
and said, and we're having a conversation now. Would you know anything about me?
I know you're carrying a lot of stress on your shoulders, that's for starters.
Right.
Yeah, you have a lot of things in it. Besides having the show, there are some family issues that keep coming up, and you were trying to pop them all up. So I
Right.
quite
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so that's me, because I'm aware and I pick up what people say. I pick up things in people's writing too. It can
Right.
be, yes, it can be quite interesting. Then I love doing my hands-on healing. I use
Right.
various tools there,
Okay.
and I
So
make a
so if
difference.
someone came up to you and it was going through a bad time, what is the procedure? What do you do? Do you sit them in a room, or what do you do?
Well, I can I go to shows and people come up to me and ask me things. Sometimes I put my hands on them, sometimes I just talk to them. What I actually pick up, it can be anything, but I do what I call my party trick. Start putting my hands behind their head, behind their ears, and you can feel the energy move, and you can see their eyes go, and quite often you'll have people turning around and saying, "What the hell have you just done to me?" And that is a physical thing. There's proof on my Facebook page. I worked with somebody with MS who was paralysed from his neck downwards. It happened to be a friend of mine, and I went in one afternoon with another friend, And an hour and a half later, he'd got his hands above his head. He
Gosh.
hadn't been able, yes. Went in, worked on him later, got him writing again. He ended up playing dominoes, doing jigsaws. He hadn't been able to do that. His feet had started moving again. And that's all on my Facebook page, Christina K. Everything is Energy. And he was in
I
the care
believe
home.
I do believe in healing.
Yes.
I'm a bit skeptical about clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance, it's a knowing. Clairvoyance with me is a knowing that something's going to happen. But for me, that doesn't really come to for other people. That comes
Yeah.
to me for a knowing. I work mainly in what is actually blocking a person, and
Right.
that is so much easier because you can find out actually where they're blocked and actually find them. Somebody this last week, I had a marvelous session with somebody over Zoom the other night in basically an hour, and I will actually tell you what she said. She said that she had lost all that she'd got problems in her back, she couldn't move very well, and we got her body moving. We then talk as we because it's my team as well, my spiritual team, and we just worked on her and took away the blocks. It was things that she was carrying from other people, which was very carrying problems of the family and different things. And I just expanded her out because I use a unique method. I take people out to the end of the universe, change the colour of the universe, which means change the vibration of your body because we're all energy. It's like anything that you see, everything is energy. Doors, even your computer is energy. And it all vibrates at a different level. So
Okay. A lot of people, we get a lot of people on here, especially on my radio, and they say, in a nice way, they're thinking, well, if she believes in all this about healing and if she does all this and everything, you know, then we won't need doctors or, and after the people will say, they're probably skeptical because, you know, believing it is, you got to see it, you got to see it and believe it, isn't you?
yes, you have to see it and believe it, but you don't have to see it. You can feel it. You can
Yeah.
do it with you can actually do it with talking because I can pick up what people say. I have my own unique method that if you imagine yourself, you're stood there and you're looking out in front of you and all you can see is rain. And then you see a beautiful rainbow. And on the other side of it is beautiful sunshine. So what I do is clear the rain. I take the layers out of the rainbow. And finally, when the rainbow's gone, you're in sunshine. So that is my way of seeing and doing things. I
That
know
was good,
people.
actually. That was good. That was really good, what you said.
Yeah, that really is the way to see it. And
Yeah.
when people work with me, I take them out of that and into something else. You know, I've people that work with me, have been working with for whole years that have had emotional abuse from partners, and they've come out of the other side and they're actually smiling. I
Mm.
work with children that are bullied, all different sorts of people. One of my greatest admirers is the UK's number one motivational business speaker, Brad Burton. He turns round and he's got a testimonial for me and says, I don't know what Christina, or whatever I'm called at that one moment, does, but it works. It really, really works. It really clears people out of the badness, the horribleness, and you can't explain how you feel when you see somebody being able to walk again, or to be able to write again,
Yeah.
or it's different. It is different. If people have more faith in themselves, because everybody can be a healer, not just me.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
Yes, everybody has the ability, but
Yeah.
they haven't got the guts to go with it. I'm sorry. They're
Yeah.
just scared.
I think the trouble is, though. I think the trouble is, you know, I'm a Christian and I believe that God give us the gifts to use.
Yes.
It could be healing, it could be
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was brought up in Christianity. I've always believed in God, but God can be in many forms. It doesn't have to be Christianity, Hindu, Buddhism. They all have somebody at the top.
No.
Absolutely, everybody has somebody at
Yeah,
the
but
top.
it says in the Bible, doesn't it? It said don't worship any other gods but me. So
Yeah.
it's only one God. So
Yes, there is only one. There is only one God. But
yeah,
he said it's said in other languages exactly the same. There is only one God.
yeah. So
So to me,
so I don't worship Buddhists. I don't worship anything else. I worship God.
no, I worship the guy at the top,
Yeah, yeah.
and to me that is God.
Right.
That is my God.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't. I'm not kind of like.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying it. I never diss anybody else's religions. I've looked
Yeah.
into them, and that's where I've noticed that there's always somebody at the top.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And I don't judge anybody on what they do.
No,
But
exactly.
but what I do is this. I do not understand about spiritualism.
Okay, spiritualism, where you can actually hear people. We have had many lives. We have had many, many lives. We are all energy. Energy has come together in different lives. So we have different lives. So people can talk to somebody. To me, when somebody passes over, they just go through into another room.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because remember Jesus said that my house has many rooms, and
Yeah.
we go into another room. That is all that happens. That in my view.
Yeah.
So they're still here.
Well, there's two choices, though, isn't it? You can either go down or go up. And
To me, energy is energy. I have no thoughts on above or below. We just go into another room.
okay, that's to you. To me, it's like it
Yes.
says you must be born again before you enter the kingdom of God. So to me, it's like you know,
Yes, we can be born again, and we are many, many thousands of times.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's my interesting point of view.
Yeah, and I accept your point of view, and I think I really do accept your point of view. Let's move on about you. Just know you were saying about that I had. You could feel that I got stresses and stuff, and you're totally right. I have got a lot of stress on me at the moment.
Yeah.
I've had a stroke. I have had
Yeah.
I've run a stroke club. And I've got a lot of stresses on me at the moment. You're totally right, and I would love to tell you that. And
Yeah.
well,
Your body talks. Your body talks. Yes. And I work with people with illnesses, with strokes, and I have helped people, as I said, somebody with MS that have had the faith in themselves, not so much in anything else, just bringing back their faith that their body can do something. They've been told by doctors, you can't do this, you have to fit in a box. Right?
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And I don't agree that people should fit in boxes. They should be free.
No.
So I help people get past that, to give them some freedom. It can be with, physical, mental. It doesn't matter. I have no opinions on everything. All I know is I'm a conduit. That
That's it.
I have from source. I have energy coming down through me into the person that I'm working on, and that's it. That's
How many
all.
people do you work with?
Over the last, I've been doing this basically since I was 2.
All right.
Some of it. Yeah,
Gosh.
since I was 2. Yeah, because at 2, as I call it, my spiritual and healing life started then. I blame it on the wasp. I had anaphylactic shock. I died, and they brought me back. And from then, I've got almost perfect recall on everything.
Right. Okay.
I wondered why other people couldn't hear, see, and do things that I could do, which was quite. I used to know things. I don't know whether you can remember Alias Smith and Jones, the cowboy.
Yeah.
Can you remember the nice little dark one that decided that he didn't like this world any longer?
Yeah.
Pete Jewell.
Yeah.
And it was for days before internet. You couldn't click on a button to find anything. And somebody said to me one day at school, I wonder what his middle name was. And I just turned around and said, it's Elstrom or Ellistrom. Can't remember what. And they said, oh, you're talking through your arse, basically. Well, I wasn't, because it came out that when he killed himself, it was. So people used to start looking at me then.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting things that I used to get.
Yeah.
So I had that knowing.
How often do you get this? How often do you get the knowing, and how often do you get the messages?
Shall I say, some days it can be all day, every day.
Right. Okay.
It depends whether I'm going to be working with someone or not.
Right.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I'll be listening to something, and something will come. Something through. It's quite interesting. It's now a way of life. I used to hide it, but when I realised that what I did was valuable, is it's a blessing. What I have is a blessing, but sometimes it can be a curse, because you know things that are going to happen and you don't really know how to say them.
Yeah. And if you do interviews like this one, do you ever get like kind of
Knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes, because you're very open, but is just this little touch of skepticism behind it.
Right.
And yes, I'm sorry.
Well, I told you that I'm a bit skeptic.
Yes,
anyway.
I know. But
You know.
but it's, as you say, it's like somebody's frightened you with something, saying, "Oh, this will happen, that will happen," and I'd love to go through it, because I take people through a gentle exercise to make them feel a lot lighter.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I can do it with you in about 7 minutes.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you're willing?
I'm willing.
Right, so what we need to do then is for you to take a nice breath. And then can you exhale it? Now this is the bit that most people think. Can you fill your body with bubbles? Feel it with nice air, nice breath. But I use bubbles because I work with children, and they wanted to know what energy felt like. So I did the energy exercise, rubbed their hands together, put their hands apart, and they said, "Oh, that feels like bubbles bursting." So that's what I do. So, right. So fill your body with bubbles, and then we explode them all. And you have a nice pile of white rubbish in front of you, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That starts bringing you energy. Then you fill your studio with bubbles and explode them. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all gone. Then the house, fill that with bubbles and explode them all. 1, 2, pull that rubbish down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just round your house, up the garden and the close area. Village, fill that with bubbles and explode them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill the town or village you live in. Fill that with bubbles and explode them. Big pile of rubbish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go out to the county. Fill that with bubbles and explode them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew, that's made me breathe a lot better. So what we need to do then is from the county, I'm going to fill England with bubbles. Explode them. Big pile of white rubbish there. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just like the white flash of phosphorescence. Put the rest of the UK together. Fill that with bubbles and explode them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add in Europe. Yes, add it all in, put extra bubbles on Mr. Macron and a few of the others. Fill that with bubbles and explode them. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Northern Hemisphere. Fill that with bubbles and explode them. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Southern Hemisphere. Fill that with bubbles and explode them. Pile of rubbish again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm doing is actually throwing energy. And the 4 is actually opening the door to a little bit more. So we put the world together. So we fill that with bubbles, explode them. We go all the way out through the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we go all the way out through from the Earth's crust, all the way out through the atmosphere. And no, I am not going to sing Mary Poppins, Let's Go Fly a Kite. We go out further, go to stratosphere and ionosphere. We fill that with bubbles and explode them. 1, 2, 3, 4. From then, we take the first leap of faith we have to do. We fly round the solar system. We fill that with bubbles. I go round, because I'm a wise woman, or whatever, I actually use a broomstick. Interesting point of view people will have on that. But I go back past Mercury, Venus, slingshot round the sun, out past us again, through Mars, past the asteroid belt with the little green men, past Jupiter, Saturn, out to the other planets, right out to the end of our solar system, where they keep finding new planets, and they always remind me of the chocolate crispy cakes we made when we were kids. Okay, so we filled that with bubbles, look across it, explode them. Big pile of rubbish, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go out through our galaxy. Yes, and it sounds very chocolatey because it's the Milky Way. So some people decide to fill it with chocolate bubbles. I just fill it with bright coloured bubbles and explode those. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go out further. This is big leap of faith time. We go out to the edge of our universe. And we stand on the edge. And we look across it. And sometimes people see colours. Do you see a colour?
Yes.
What colour do you see?
Yellow.
Okay. So now we're going to make a 3-layered cake. It's the best way I can explain it. So the first layer, we fill the universe with bubbles. and we explode them, and it makes the first cake layer. Now, the first layer of filling, we bring all our problems in, bring them in close to us. I imagine mine as squadron soldiers, with the red tunics and the busbies on top. And I go along and say, thank you very much. You've really helped me. You've really, really helped me. And, but you've done enough. I don't want any more. So can you quite happily go away? So behind them is a huge hot air balloon. And they march off and they go up the steps and jump into the basket. So I go across, have a peep in to make sure there's no ballast there. I cut all the cords, throw in the anchors, and off they float. And then the next thing I do is I shoot the damn thing down. And all of those problems go all over the universe. No molecule touching another. Not one. They could be a mile apart, they could be a billion miles apart, but that problem doesn't touch part of its other. So the next thing we do is we fill the universe with bubbles again and explode them. And we've got another middle layer. Now, this is my favourite layer, filling. You bring all in the nasty people. I'm going to sort of partly so I call it bitches and bastards in that have caused us all these problems through any lifetime. So we bring them all in. And then we have the individual little helium balloons, like the balloon races that you get. We put them in there, and I am wicked. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But I always add a few drops of acid. But if somebody's called me a real pain, I add a real lot of acid. Then we let them all go, and then we go and shoot them down. I give you permission to shoot them with anything but a bow and arrow, because I had a client that had about 40 balloons and she knew every person. It took me nearly half an hour to cook. So if we can do an AK-47 or something like that, that's fine. So that's what happens there. So we shot them down. Then we fill the universe up again with bubbles again, explode them, top layer. I'll give you permission now to jump on it, trampoline it, do whatever. I've got friends that do belly flops on it. Some sit on it and do rude noises, but it's all up to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually explode that cake. So we're going to do a 10. So what I'm doing are energy throws. I learnt those through with one of my modalities, Access Consciousness, the Rolls Royce of energy therapist in my point of view, and I've done a lot. So on a 10, take a nice breath. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 10. 5, 9, 11. 5, 9, 11. Take another nice deep breath. What colour do you see now?
Green.
Green. So, we have moved some energy in your body. So how's your body feeling? Strange.
Weird. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's weird because there have been some blockages in there that have gone. So what I'm going to say to you now is you need to drink some water. You have to take some salt and sugar. Your body will crave it. You can remember how we did the old batteries. Put a little tablet in to put the acid back. That's what we do there. And then I'd like you to fill your body again with bubbles, but don't explode them because you've made a lot of space in your body. I actually don't want you to fall down on the floor because your body will be doing that. But that's basically how I start with everybody. Then I do ask lots of questions and we clear the blockages. And sometimes I actually put people's bodies back together because they live in their head. And actually your body is the key to everything. So that's me.
Right, okay. And when you go out doing it into like events, into I don't know where you go, but like in different events and everything.
Mind, body, and spirit fairs. I go into offices and help people. I do many things. As I say, most of my stuff is over Zoom, like I've just done with you. So that is basically the start of where I go.
Right.
And yes, it's all different. All different. Every treatment's different. Nobody's treatment is ever the same because we're all individuals. We're all unique.
Brilliant. And how can people contact you if they need to talk to you?
If they need to talk to me, they can find me on Facebook at Christina K. Everything is Energy, or Christina Kokis, but there are two of us. They can get hold of me on my phone number, which is 07501 335 627. And if anybody comes to me from the podcast, just mention the podcast, and I will give a discount on my prices.
Okay. Thank you. So guys, don't forget, get in contact with Christina. That was fantastic, and it certainly works what she does. Please contact her on Facebook and everything else. What we want to do, we want to get you back again. I think we will get you back again if that's okay.
Oh, that will be fine. I would love to do it again.
Thank you.
I would love to do it again.
I will get my wife to contact you, and because she does all that for me. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much. Please follow Christina on Facebook, and if you get in contact with her, just say you heard Christina from Crossroads, and and she might give you a discount. There you go.
Yes.
Do you have any books?
No, I don't at the moment have books. I do actually do healing courses.
Right.
The next one is about genetics and judgments, because we bring so much of our genetics in that from our parents and ancestors.
Oh yeah.
We hold judgments. So yes, I'd love to come back, and I'd love to explain about what I do there.
Brilliant, thank you. So what we're going to do, guys, what we're going to do is that we're going to get Christina to come back, and the next one will be what we call like a question and answer thing, where what we usually do, we usually get people come back the second time, and then we interview them and also we do like a question and answers session with them. And so we'll do that. We'll get that sorted out for everybody, because there has been quite a few people on our radio asking you to come back.
Oh, so that's wonderful. And how are you actually feeling now? Are you feeling a little
bit better? Yes, thank you very much.
Yes. That is brilliant. So thank you very much, Steve, for inviting me.
That's okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to leave the information on my website, and please contact her, because and just say that you heard Christina, and then she will get in contact with you, and you can work with her or ask her anything you want. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.